Hey, CFMA, what is the golden rule of project documentation from a legal perspective? I am Brian Padove, construction attorney at Watt Tieder Hoggar Fitgerald in the Chicago office. As a construction attorney, I witness projects succeed and unfortunately sometimes struggle. One recurring theme on successful projects is good financial management. And at the heart of good financial management lies something that's often overlooked. That's solid project documentation. So again, today I'm going to be talking about what is the golden rule of project documentation from a legal perspective. The answer is relatively quite simple. You are looking for project documentation that is factual, accurate, and timely. Or to use an acronym that my partners, John Sebastian, who's also in Watt Tieder's Chicago office, and Christopher Brasco, who's in Watt Tieder's Virginia office, use. You want project documentation that is factual, accurate, and timely. So briefly to go over each of these terms. Factual, this means you want documents coming from people with firsthand knowledge of, the actual project. They're the ones that are boots on the ground on the project, seeing what's going on every single day. You don't want documentation that is editorialized. You really want it to be objective so you can get a better handle as to what is actually going on the project, and you have a paper trail of what is actually happening on the project. Again, you don't want the he said, she said type of stuff. Next, accurate. Along the same lines, you want content in your documentation that is readily and easily verifiable. For example, you have daily logs showing, again, work that's being completed in Word format. Try to get corresponding project photos as to what that work consists of on that day. Some tips for memorializing these photos include including the date the photos were taken, who took the photos, and kind of a brief description as to, hey, what does this photo actually represent on the project? Because again, if you're not on the project site every day, you might not know what that project actually represents. It could just be some rough-in work somewhere on the project. So finally, you want documentation to be timely. Most importantly, again, you want to comply with your contractual notice requirements. Again, that's a pretty obvious one. But also you want to provide, if possible, notice early and often, notice of issues early and often. This gives the parties an opportunity to potentially mitigate losses that relate to that issue, as well as creates a paper trail as to how the parties responded and dealt with the issue throughout the project. And again, it's the old, I'm from Chicago. There's an old saying in Chicago politics that if you want your candidate to succeed, you vote early and often. Similarly here, if you want to have a successful project, or if you want to have a successful claim, you want to try to provide notice early and often. So in conclusion, again, project documentation, as you know, it really is vitally important to the success of a project, and entities should really do their best to make sure that your project documentation is again, it's factual, accurate, and timely. So that's all. Thanks, CFMA.